Alright guys, welcome back. Hey, this one's going to be big. This is actually not just big, this one's freaking huge. Whenever two or more states have a dispute based on the Constitution, it has to go in front of the state Supreme Court in order to settle that dispute. They are the only lawful way to solve them. The only lawful way. Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton announced early on Tuesday morning that the state of Texas has filed a lawsuit against 4 states: Georgia, Michigan, the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin, at the United States Supreme Court for allegedly exploiting the COVID-19 pandemic to justify ignoring federal and state election laws and unlawfully enacting last-minute changes, thus skewing the results of the 2020 general election. Trusting the integrity of our election processes is synchronous and binds our citizenry and the states in this union together, Paxton said in a statement. Georgia, Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin destroyed that trust and compromised the security and integrity of the 2020 election. The states violated statutes enacted by the duly elected legislators, thereby violating the Constitution. By ignoring both the state and federal law, these states not only have tainted the integrity of their own citizens' vote, but of Texas and every other state that held lawful elections, said Attorney General Paxton. The failure to abide by the rule of law casts a dark shadow of doubt over the outcome of the entire election. We now ask the United States Supreme Court to step up and to correct this egregious error. All right, guys, this is like a big case. It's a big case. The Supreme Court's getting pounded with cases right now, but this one is probably going to be one of the biggest ones, because what Texas basically is saying is that because we followed the law and you all didn't follow that same set of laws, everybody in our state, you have to have an injury shown in order for it to go in front of a court, period. Their injury shown is that their voters in the state of Texas and other states that did follow the Constitution are being harmed by these 4 states. There's more than 4, but these 4 states that didn't follow the Constitution will be basically affecting the votes of the people that did it legally. Those legal votes from constitutional states like Texas. Now mind you got to remember too, Texas also said we will not allow Dominion voting systems in our state to be involved in our elections because we don't trust them. They are not safe. Texas is one of the few that actually went out and said this isn't going to happen in our state. So Texas has a long standing on following the Constitution. And Texas is actually the powerhouse of the United States as far as being able to be the one to bring this case on, simply because Texas is our major importer of all common fuels that we use on a day-to-day basis. So they have a lot of money, they have a lot of time, and they have a lot of power. Places like the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, they too have some power because of the coal mines and whatnot. Georgia, Michigan, and Wisconsin really don't have a whole lot of play in this one, other than that they went against the federal law and said, no, we're going to change the way it's done because of COVID. We're going to allow mail-in voting. Allowing mail-in voting, we've known this for a long time. Allowing any mail-in voting is not good. What will be the outcome of this case? Well, I hope the Supreme Court hears it, for one, because they have so many cases being thrown at them that they can only hear so many. But if they can actually hear this one, I believe that they actually will find that there was an injury shown and allow Texas to continue suing these other 4 states. And what would that suit look like? Well, they're not asking for punitive damages at all. They're asking for the election to be changed to make it rightful, to make it honest, to make it true, and to let the legislators in those states be the ones that actually pick the electors. And I honestly believe that this case right here, above all others, is probably going to be the one that makes us come out of the Supreme Court saying, you're right, The legislators have that right to pick the electors. Doesn't matter what the vote says, doesn't matter what anybody else says. I mean, these guys had courts changing rules. They had the state's attorney general changing rules, and they can't do that. That's against the law. So let's hope this case plays out properly and Trump wins. Let's see what happens. Y'all have a good night. That's my wrap.